What it do still with the cap shot like a little big boss hog, boss dog, can't pull through the door, hit the top this boxer, fuck about solidical. Every turns don't last. Good people do the life yourself. Call me to find out, baby, about a peak game, 84's and what's way. We Callisto, you know we talking about that boxing. Eddie Hearn reveals that Dimitri Bivol and him are open to a undisputed matchup with David Benavidez. Let me tell you something. If they're able to pull this off, this would change how I view Eddie Hearn just a little bit. Eddie Hearn said he's been talking to Luis de Cuba, right? And he's like, look, you know, we're in talks. So I guess it's just depending on if David Benavidez, I mean, either way it goes, David Benavidez, if he wins or loses, he still be the WBC champion at 175. But I think he's fighting for the cruiserweight title. So if he wins those belts, I don't know if he gonna win them and drop them. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I love that fight. It's a potential 50-50 fight. It's a tough clash. I mean, on paper, you would have to go Dimitri Bivol, right? But David Benavidez, man, he just such a dog and such a guy that, like, he don't run for no smoke. He gonna figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So you can't rule him out either. On paper, I have to go Dimitri Bivol. But I'll say this. I can see Dimitri Bivol winning by unanimous decision. I can see David Benavidez winning by technical knockout. Like with David Benavidez just like start going crazy. I can see that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dimitri Bivol so good though, bro. He's so good, so crisp. You know what I mean? You know, as soon as that back foot land, he boom. You know what I mean? With that pendulum bounce, that pendulum step, like he just so smooth with it. You know what I mean? So I'm interested to see how David Benavidez will deal with that, but I can't rule out David Benavidez. That's how good that fight. If they're able to get that done, hey man, that's a fight. That's a fight I would love to see. David Benavidez, Dimitri Bivol. David Benavidez, Arthur Benavidez. Back in the day, it was David Benavidez, Canelo, but I think David Benavidez will stop Canelo at this current moment. But like I said before, man, it's a great fight. If they able to get this fight done, bro, like, boy, David Benavidez is kind of the only fighter who's keeping boxing relevant right now. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, Tank ain't fought, the Charlos ain't fought, Elspeth ain't fought. David Benavidez is keeping boxing relevant. He's the only fighter that ain't ducking no wreck. And that's what I'm talking about. He's the epitome of a fighter that has a certain style that's not afraid to fight any style, right? He figures it out. He figures out a way. Like when he fought Caleb Plant moved a lot. He said, F it, I'm finna figure it out. Caleb Plant was winning the early rounds, and David Benavidez cut it up on him, right? Like, that's what I'm talking about as a fighter. You got to figure it out. You know what I mean? That's how my coach taught me when I used to get in there with certain styles. You know, it was just like, hey, figure it out. Of course, he'll give me pointers on what I need to do, but figure it out. You know what I mean? So, and I would spar that style until I figured it out, right? Whereas, you see David Benavidez, he not doing what Canelo doing. He not doing what a lot of these fighters that be picking and choosing doing, right? He like, look, bro, I struggle with this style. Cool, I'm gonna figure it out. Put me in there with this dude. I'm gonna figure it out. You know what I mean? Heart of a true champion, bro. So David Benavidez got my support whether he win or lose. Dimitri Bivol got my support whether he win or lose. This is one of them fights. You know what I'm saying? Undisputed, all the marbles, good clash on styles. You got a very good boxer versus a very good pressure fighter who got fast hands. That's the thing for me, is the fast hands. Because guys at that weight don't throw punches like that. Like David Benavidez fight like he Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about the jump in there. I'm just talking about the hand speed. Like that Amir Khan stuff. You see a lot of that speed at the lower weight classes. Not at 168, not at 175, right? Not at cruiserweight. You know what I'm saying? At a heavyweight, you got Andy Ruiz. He throw combinations like he got fast hands. But you don't see that in the high weight class. You don't see that type of stuff. You see those guys that particularly slower, you know what I mean? They place their shots. Yeah, they got some speed on them, but they not throwing combinations at the rate that David Benavidez is doing it. It's incredible. So that'd be a great fight if they're able to deliver. I'm looking forward to it. You know what I mean? We'll see. Eddie Hearn, like, I don't think, you know, like I say, he getting better. You know what I mean? He's getting better. You know what I mean? I made videos in the past talking about, man, you know, Eddie Hearn don't work with other promoters. And this year, he's been doing that. I gotta give him his props. You know what I mean? Now, granted, he got Turkey as his bank. So he able to go to Turkey a lot of the time and be like, hey, I need so-and-so to make this fight happen. And it gets done, right? A lot of people feel like because Turkey's physically there or he's not physically there, that he's not involved. Eddie Hearn goes to Turkey for a lot of his stuff. Because how come in the past, he wasn't able to get stuff done? But now he's getting fights done. What's the difference? The difference is he got Turkey. How does he know Turkey LLC's day-to-day, right? How does he know the day-to-day operations of the Saudis, right? How does he know that, hey, operations are going to slow down in boxing as pertains to the Saudis? How does he know that, right? If he's not using Turkey. So like I told you, the only way he know that is if Turkey, right? If he's involved with Turkey. He wouldn't know that. That'd be like this. Al Heyman, right? Who Tom Brown and them use, right? So that's just like Tom Brown go off on his own and he got his own set of fighters and he's like, oh man, you know, Al Heyman, man, this, that, and the third. Like, they use Al Heyman kind of like how Turkey's being used. It's just Turkey in the limelight. Turkey all in the videos dancing. Al Heyman behind the scenes. That's what it boils down to. Al Heyman know where to go and or he can fund the fights himself or he can go get the money from somewhere. Turkey, he getting the money from his peers because he ain't the one that got the money. He got money, but it's a group of them that got the money. The Saudis, you know what I'm saying? So, and they all coming to the table with money to be able to basically bring entertainment for themselves in boxing, right? So when you analyze this stuff, put a bow on it, come down on the floor with it, man, it's a great fight. If Eddie Hearn and regardless if he used a Turkey or not, hey man, it's a great fight. I gotta give him his respect. I'm not gonna lie to you. You heard Boss say it right here and now. Whether he used a Turkey or not, I gotta give him his props. But he's definitely used a Turkey LLC. I don't care what y'all talking about. Y'all can sit here and say, oh, Eddie Hearn, where he getting the money from? Huh? Because if he had money to waste, he'll be making fights with Devin Haney. Right? That's just real talk. He's even openly said, man, I've wasted money on, you know, Richardson Hitchens and, you know, Devin Haney and da-da-da, you know, that I'll never get back. But, you know, but he won't do that with any other fighter. If that was the case, he'll be throwing money out like Turkey. In the past, he wasn't able to deliver fights. Right? But when Turkey came into the picture, right, he had somewhere he could go dip his hand in. Hey, Turk, I need da-da-da, get this fight. Oh, my friend, bote con it. Here you go, my friend, my friend. And he get the money. But, like I say, love this, man. Love this fight. If they able to deliver this, this is good for boxing. This is a great fight. Now, David Benavidez fights, I believe, next Saturday. So, or this Saturday. Today's Sunday. Whatever. May 2nd, right? So we'll see how this thing goes. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Boss guy.
Thanks for watching KLXTH Factory. Like the video if you felt the punch. Drop your hottest take in the comments. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a round.